Hello, welcome friends. Today I am here with another video in the series repeatedly asked questions and answers since 20 years. This video is useful for NET, SET, PGT, TGT, NBS, KBS, SLST, SSC, CSC examination. Let's start today. Question number 1. Which text offers a fictionalized survey of English literature from Elizabethan times to 1928? The answer is Orlando. This Orlando is written by Virginia Woolf. Let's see the related information and explanation. Here is a quotation written by Virginia Woolf. The quotation is, a woman must have money and a room for her own if she is to write fiction. This quotation is taken from Virginia Woolf's book, A Room of One's Own. Virginia Woolf's best known works are Mrs. Dalloway, To the Lighthouse, A Room of One's Own. Now see the information regarding Orlando. Orlando is a novel. The genre is fictional biography. It is written in English originally. Woolf wrote Orlando from her home in London between 1927 to 1928. It was published in 11 October 1928. The date is given in the last line of the novel. The climax occurs when Orlando finds herself in the present day 1928 and she is forced to acknowledge her own nature as a multitude of selves and experiences within one person. The novel is written in immediate past tense, real-time narration. The protagonist is Orlando. The setting is 1588 to 1928. This is the time setting. The motifs are poetry, dates, clothing, sex senses, etc. Let's see more information. The settings. The place setting is mostly in England, London and Kent. But 1960 to 1985 are the years spent on an excursion to Constantinople and the hills of Turkey. The point of view is third person omniscient point of view. The narrator or biographer is unreliable narrator who knows what each of the characters are thinking and inserts her own explanations into the text. The narrator changes style and tone to suit the changes of Orlando's life. What happens in following action? See, Orlando, having found love, now finds life in the present moment. Standing by her own oak tree, she looks over the manor and welcomes back her husband, Shell. What are the foreshadowings found in this novel? Orlando's poem foreshadows that she will end up back at her oak tree. The appearance of Archduchess Harriet foreshadows that he will be a man. Orlando's troubles with the gypsies foreshadow that she will return to England. What are the tones? Detached, philosophic, and poetic. Although these tones, she attempts to include dates and facts, making the book a real biography. The narrator's work ends up as poetry. The themes are sex and gender, the difference between men and women, the quality of history, the spirit of age, time, interconnectedness, truth, and facts, etc. are the themes of this book. What are the symbols? The oak tree, the clock, Orlando's manor house, and clouds are the symbols. Next, see the question number 2. The Sublime Objects of Ideology is a major work by whom? The answer is, it is a work by Slavoj Žižek. The Sublime Objects of Ideology is a 1989 book by the Slovenian philosopher and cultural theorist Slavoj Žižek. Žižek's famous quote is, if you want to remain happy, just remain stupid. What does Zizek mean by the sublime object of ideology? See the answer. Zizek thematizes the Kantian notion of the sublime in order to liken ideology to the experience of something that is absolutely vast and powerful beyond all perception and objective intelligibility. Next, see the question number 3. The Golden Bough, published in 1890. It was written by whom? The answer is, it was written by Sir James George Fraser. See the informations. James George Fraser is a Scottish anthropologist. This book was retitled as The Golden Bough, a study in magic and religion. What is the significance of the Golden Bough in the Aeneid? Aeneid is an epic poem written by Virgil. We know what is the relations between this book and Aeneid. The answer is, the Golden Bough itself acts as a proof of Aeneas's divine favor and allows him to pass into the underworld with the consent of its ferryman Charon. What is the topic of the Golden Bough? The answer is, the Golden Bough details the similarities of numerous religions in which death and rebirth are crucial elements of fecundity and survival. Next, see the question number 4. Tony Bennett initiated museum studies with which book? The answer is, Birth of the Museum, History, Theory, Politics. This book was published in 1995. See the informations. Tony Bennett is a British sociologist. What is the genre of this book? It is scholarly monograph or cultural theory. It can be said museum studies. In a series of richly detailed case studies from Britain, Australia, and North America, Tony Bennett investigates how 19th and 20th century museums, fair and exhibitions have organized their collections and their visitors. What is the central argument of this book? Bennett argues that modern museums emerged in the 19th century as a part of a broader system of governance. Drawing on Michel Foucault's concept of governmentality, he contends that museums functioned as instruments of social regulation, discipline, and public education, shaping citizens' behavior and moral conduct. Using Foucauldian perspectives, the birth of the museum explores how the public museum should be understood not just as a place of instruction but as a reformatory of manners in which a wide range of regulated social routines and performances take place. See the question number 5. The Principles of Zoology. This book was published between 1830 to 1833. This book is written by whom? The answer is Sir Charles Lyell. Sir Charles Lyell is Scottish zoologist. See the related informations. The book is in 3 volumes, published from 1830 to 1833. This is a scientific treatise, zoology. Lyell used the theory of uniformitarianism to describe how the Earth's surface is changing over time, built upon ideas of James Hutton, who first proposes uniformitarianism principles. Now see what is uniformitarianism or doctrine of uniformity or uniformitarian principle. It is the assumption that the same natural laws and processes that operate in our present day scientific observations have always operated in the universe in the past and apply everywhere in the universe. Uniformity says that the same natural processes like erosion, sedimentation, and volcanic activities, etc., operating today have always operated in the past. This theory is direct contrast or opposes to the geological theory of catastrophism. Now see what is catastrophism. Catastrophism claims that the earth has been shaped by sudden, short-lived and violent events. Now see question number 6. Empire was published in 2000. It is a book by whom? The answer is, it is a book written by Antonio Negri and Michel Hardit. See the related informations. Michel Hardit and Antonio Negri are post-Marxist philosophers. This book is a political theory, critical theory, or globalization studies. According to Empire, the rise of empire is the end of national conflict. The enemy now can no longer be ideological or national. The enemy now must be understood as a kind of criminal who represents a threat not to a political system or a nation but to the law. The enemy, as a terrorist, is in the new order that envelops the entire space of civilization where conflict between nations has been made irrelevant. The enemy is simultaneously banalized, reduced to an object of routine police repression, and absolutized as an absolute threat to the ethics. This is a replica of Polybius's description of Roman government, hence the denomination empire. The 5 stages of empire described in this book are regionalism, ascension to empire, maturity, overextension, decline and legacy. Next see question. Anthony Giddens put forward the structuration theory about dash. The answer is, structuration theory is about creation and reproduction of social system. See the related informations. Structuration theory is a sociological model of human social structures that was developed by Anthony Giddens, a British sociologist. Giddens reimagines the relationship between sociological concepts of agency versus structure. The key functions of structuration theory are provide explanations of phenomena, guide empirical research, enable cumulative research, guide practical decision making. Now see the question number 8. Dissemination, Time, Narrative and the Margins of the Modern Nation was published in 1990 is an dash. The answer is, it is an essay by Homi K. Bhabha. See the informations. It is written in memory of Paul Maurice Strempel. Bhabha is a post-colonial Indian theorist. His important concepts in theory are hybridity, mimicry, difference, ambivalence, etc. This essay emphasizes the nation as a hybrid space shaped by cultural differences and historical transformations. The text critiques nationalism's fixed identities, arguing for a recognition of temporal and performative aspects of culture. Bhabha's concept of liminality means the in-betweenness of cultural identities within nation narratives. He challenges the notion of national cohesion by the presence of diverse and conflicting voices and identities. The purpose of the text is to interrogate the complexities of national identity and cultural representation. Next, see the question number 9. Anatomy of Melancholy was published in 1621. This book was written by whom? The answer is Robert Burton. This Robert Burton is an English scholar. See the related informations. The book is a medical treatise about melancholy, depression. Anatomy of Melancholy proposes mainly 2 principal forms of melancholy: that caused by love and that caused by religious factors. Robert Burton writes it under the pseudonym Democritus Junior, as a reference to the ancient Greek laughing philosopher Democritus. John Keats considered this The Anatomy of Melancholy as his favorite book. Now see the question, which work of Keats is based on Burton's The Anatomy of Melancholy? The answer is Lamia, Isabella, The Eve of Saint Agnes and other poems. Eve of Saint Agnes was published in 1820. Next see the question number 10. Paul Gilroy borrowed the term double consciousness from whom? The answer is African American critic W.E.B. Du Bois. See the related informations. Paul Gilroy is an English sociologist and cultural studies scholar. He is the first black American to earn a PhD from Harvard University. The term was introduced by Ralph Waldo Emerson in his 1842 essay, The Transcendentalist. Du Bois first used the term in an article titled Strivings of the Negro People, published in 1897. The term and the ideas were first published in Du Bois's The Soul of Black Folk, published in 1903. See the sequence. Ralph Waldo Emerson introduces the term. The article by Du Bois next used the term, and first it was published by Du Bois again. Now see about double consciousness. Double consciousness is the dual self-perception experienced by subordinated or colonized groups in an oppressive society. Du Bois introduces three elements of double consciousness. These three elements are the evil, the trueness, and second sight. So friends, this is the end of this video. Thank you for watching the video till the last. Hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much.